So I would now like to introduce Olivier. Olivier gave us an excellent presentation on RogerVoice last year. He's back to share the growth hacking that he's been on now. For those of you who weren't here last year, Olivier is deaf. So I still remain amazed at your lip reading ability, especially with the beard and lip reading. So what we'll do is when you ask questions, we'll let the audience hear your question, then I'll come to the front and ask it to Olivier if you don't hear it properly, so that he can lip read. And if worst gets to worst, we can always write it down. Okay, Olivier, over to you.
Thank you, thank you. I'd like to talk a little bit about telecom history 101. The telephone actually goes back to a very long time, to exactly 149 years ago. 150 years next year is when Alexander Graham Bell, one of the first inventors, patented the telephone. How did he come to that? His wife was deaf and his mother was deaf. And he was doing research into phonetics and acoustics to improve communications. And so that is how the telephone came about when he invented it. So the irony of the story is, for 150 years, deaf people could not phone. So I set out to change this. There's actually a lot of people who are deaf, actually. When you think about it, there's probably somebody in your family who has problems hearing, and it's probably difficult to call them up. And there's a 40% probability that as you age, you will have hearing loss. So the first thing you do is get some hearing aids, please. And second, use tools that you have at your disposal. And one of these is, how do you make a phone call to a doctor or to your family? So that is actually really difficult. It's okay today when people tell me, oh, but you have SMS, Skype, email. Why do you need the phone? The fact is, people make phone calls on average 5 times a day, and they use it for many, many reasons. I haven't been able to call up a plumber by Skype. There's a lot of people who want to reach me by phone, including my family, and they don't have Skype. So what we do is, we're using a voice recognition technology to make transcription of phone calls. How does that work? We integrate API from a speech provider into the voice over IP telecom stack. And we capture that voice and we put it on our screen. It doesn't sound very exciting when I describe it. A demonstration would be really, really impressive. But what we're really doing is we're completely erasing the boundary between chatting, meaning writing and reading, and somebody else on the other end of the line is listening and speaking. And we're kind of blurring the boundaries right here. And so the whole point of this is to make it absolutely seamless. So there should not be a barrier between texting, speaking, writing, anything like that. And that is what we're setting out to do. How do we do this is we actually buy minutes from both other IP providers, and we buy minutes from speech providers as well. When you put it on telecom stack. And we could not have made this possible because this is such a niche market. There are so little people out there who need this. I mean, there's a lot of people, but at the same time, it's niche. And so there's somebody in the room I really want to thank. It's Philippe is here. Yes. So Philippe from about 2 years ago, we met and started working on this project and developed the telecom stack that made it possible to capture audio and to spin it to our speech providers and to deliver the transcription to text. So thank you, Philippe. And so these guys are one of my TAD mentors here that made it possible. We also have Nexmo here. Is there anybody here from the group, please? No one from Nexmo. Come on. Yes, thank you. And so this is it's a lot about how we're able to make this happen because of a community of telecom app developers. There's no way you can start off by yourself. And also, there's a lot of innovation that can come around when you think differently about things. Like, why would anybody want to even do this? And so, basically, it's very useful for me, but it can actually become interesting for many other people to use. And last of all, even if it's quite small, we need to start off small. There's a lot of things that can happen, and who knows what can happen. So I'd like to paraphrase it's an interview by Barack Obama about a couple of months ago that spoke to me and said, like, we need to encourage a lot of innovators out there in order to know which one is going to happen, which one is going to make it happen. So all of us need to really get doing things, even if it's something niche like for deaf people. Who knows? You could be the next telephone. So thank you. And please, tomorrow, come to my growth hacking workshop. We're going to talk about getting beyond the niche market and into the mainstream.
Excellent. Thank you so much. An inspiring presentation. So if you could take the table over there, and Itan, if you can come down and get set up, that would be great. I'll get my PC. So do we have any questions for Olivier? I'll maybe open up with one. Let me just put that down. Now, in growing your business, what have been some of the changes in technology as you've grown? Oh, sorry, let me just turn that on, sorry.
Hello, yes.
There you go.
What were the changes?
Yeah, what are the changes in your platform? In such only 2 years, have you had to make any changes to your platform?
Okay. Yes, so basically, as I started growing, I came to the realization that I needed to start internalizing some of the technology that I was using. Basically, like, I have let's say, a whole cloud of partners that work with me. And at some point, you realize you need custom-made solution. And there's something that you need to make it yourself. So these are, it's not so much a change in technology as it's a change in how you design and build your solution to meet very specific needs. At some point, nobody's going to care more about your customers than yourself. Your partners develop solutions that apply to many, many use cases. And at some point, you're going to need to specialize into something. And that's how you develop custom solutions.
I think that the phases of development that Olivier is going through with RogerVoice, I think for many different services, businesses that are being built on telecom capabilities, I think it's a case study that everybody should follow. So again, Olivier, excellent work. Really looking forward to your presentation tomorrow on growth hacking, because that is hard. It's hard to get started. It's as hard, if not even harder, to grow. So again, thank you so much, Olivier.
Thank you.